Alright YouTube, it's not really the morning, but this is Nick with NK Landscaping for yet another video. Today we got something really cool. We are on a job site, as you can see by the skid steer. We are spreading topsoil over this kind of abandoned, it used to be a tennis court. Got to talking to the client. He was kind of skeptical about us being able to get this job done with just 2 guys. Fast forward a little bit, he saw our work. He's very happy. While we were here, I noticed something in this barn that I'm standing in. It's super windy, so I'm trying to get some shelter, but I want you to check this out. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this thing. Would you look at this little beauty? So this is a roller for what used to be this clay tennis court, and I got to talking to the guy, and he has no use for it. So I was kind of saying, hey, are you doing anything with that? And he basically told me that I could have it. So this is a Brutus power roller, and we're gonna try to get this thing out of here and load it up to go home with us tonight. So let's check it out, get it in the trailer, and we still gotta keep working here, but that's gonna be cool. We're gonna get this thing to work. All right, let's get this thing moved. Kurt's gonna be my driver. So this client is actually extremely happy. I'm happy that everything worked out here. At first I was a little worried that, you know, we may have miscommunicated something, but look, Kurt's already rolling. Oh yeah. So what I can see on this is the Brutus is the brand, I think. And the model is AP1, I think. I didn't realize I'm driving him down the freaking center of this big ruts. Oh my god. Oh. No hands. Look, Ma, no hands. Hey, it's doing a good job rolling out. It's doing a good job. This is gonna be fun to get going. It's in really good shape, honestly. And I know it's not a modern roller by any means, but we don't have any sort of roller like this, so maybe for some of the driveway jobs, this will be a cool little thing to bring along. Alright, we're gonna load this thing up in the bucket, and then it's gonna ride home with the skid steer. So Kurt says it's not super heavy. That U-joint right in the middle, so it can actually tip pretty easily. It's a little wonky little guy. There we go. We got it. She's coming home. Getting this thing down to the garage so I can actually take a look at it, see what kind of state everything is in. Like I said, I think the machine itself is in okay shape. It's just going to be whether or not we can get this motor going, being that it was sitting in that barn with the air filter cover off of it. We do have the air filter cover, but who knows what kind of critters and or liquid may have gotten down in that carburetor. The motor does pull over nicely, so that's a start. Okay, now that we have this thing in the garage, hopefully you can get a good sense of scale. It's not very big. It's the old suspension seat, very basic. Looks like we have a Briggs & Stratton 3 horsepower, 127cc motor, which looks to be in pretty good shape. So what we're looking at here, this is a Brutus power roller made by Northeast Power Products Incorporated in Midland Park, New Jersey. Looks like we are looking at an AR1 model number. Looks like we have a gear reduction here to slow down the RPM coming out of the motor. And then we go into what I assume is going to be like a band style power converter, I guess. So you just have a forward and reverse. There's no gear, selection. You do not have multiple speeds. You have what I assume is a spinning shaft in here, and then pushing this forward or back basically clamps down on some bands, which engages your forward or reverse gear, or the 1 speed. No brakes. That's interesting. So you sit on this seat. Here's the operator's point of view. You got little foot pegs down here, left and right for steering, and the throttle. Very simple. So forward, backward, and that's about it. So everything pivots nice and easily. Machine looks to be in good shape. This is a Granite State Machine Company, New Hampshire. It's a reversing transmission model 5101B with a ratio of 2.47 to 1. So, what do we got to do to get this thing running? I'm not sure. It does pull over, like I said. Looks like we have a little bit of compression. So, here is the air filter cover. So we do have that. Otherwise, let's tear into this thing and see if we can get it at least popping off. So I checked the oil. It does have oil. It doesn't look great, but we're gonna hit it with a little bit of starting fluid and see if it does anything. Oh, we got a pop. This pull starter is kind of crummy. Would you look at that? I got the throttle pretty low, basically on an idle. Throttle is actually kind of stuck. Somebody did some funny stuff to this thing. So let's try that again. Oh yeah. This thing's gonna be a runner. Alright, let's maybe try some fuel. See what happens. Clearly the carb cover was off for a reason, so probably something wrong with that. We may have to rebuild that. Let's give it a splash of fuel and see what happens. So, I don't know what you can see of this. We've got some fuel in there. It's pretty grody looking, so I've got the old sucker vac. Let's suck that out. Oh yeah. Not much in there. Very nice. If you don't have one of these little OEM tools, pneumatic and manual fluid evacuator, it's got the handle to pump if you don't have air supply, but otherwise a very fantastic tool. And now we have honestly, the tank doesn't look too bad. Let's get some good fuel in there. Alright, I got like a little bit of fuel in there, maybe not even enough to run this thing. I don't want to put more than I need to in case I have to suck it back out. Gonna hit it with the starter fluid again. Who knows, maybe a little choke action. Promising. Do a little more throttle. Let's full start. Yeah, we might need a carb carb refresh. So I've been able to get this thing to run just on ether, and it will continue running on ether, so we know it's a good runner. I think what I'm going to need to do now is take the gas. This is one of those funny, gas tank is the carburetor, so I'm going to take that off, attempt to clean it, see if we can get it running. Alright, we got the carb cleaned out, the gas tank back on the motor. Tried to fix that wonky starter. Just filter this fuel going back into here, because there was some nasty stuff in there. Let's see if we can get this going. Now I didn't take the fuel tank off the carburetor. That may come back to bite me in the butt, because the pickup might be clogged or something, but that'll be a problem for later Nick to deal with. Everything looked pretty clean in there. I wouldn't say anything was too dirty. Choke. Might need the starting fluid. Yeah, let's give her a starting fluid. Definitely not getting fuel. So either the fuel pump isn't working very well, the diaphragm in there was a little crummy, or we have a blockage in the tank. So I might unscrew the tank here, see what the tank and the pickup screen looks like, and then we'll get back to it. Alright, so took the fuel tank off, everything looked okay. The bowl, the fuel tank, the bowl of the carburetor is built into the tank, so that had no gas in it. I filled that up. Maybe see if that primes the system. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe not. We'll start with pain. Oh yeah. Why can't I steer now? your feet on the pegs. Put your feet on the pegs. And hold on to the handlebar. So forward is backwards. And then this is like reverse or like a brake. Now pull the lever back towards you. Just go forward that way. Oh. Go to neutral. Push it forward for the brake, kinda. It's not really the brake, but it's reverse. Oh yeah. Turn, turn, turn. Keep turning. Oh yeah. Yeah, you got it. Now go up the driveway. Nice. Try to drive it back into the garage. What? Drive it back into the garage. So the first person I called was Steph after I knew I was getting this thing. And she wasn't really a fan of it. But how do you feel about it now?
It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun?
Yeah.
This thing will be kind of fun rolling some driveways. It's running. So I'm going to tinker with it some more. And we'll get this thing in at least tip-top shape for where it's at now.
When you said you got a steamroller, I thought it was like the big thing. And I was like, we don't need that.
Yeah, she thought I meant a big steamroller.
This isn't steam. There's no steam with this.
It's true. It's just this what they universally call these, I guess. But this is a baby steamroller. No steam. No steam. Hold the steam. All right. So I've had this thing sitting for a while now. We went out, ran some errands. I have this air filter. I got a screw because we were missing the screw. Threw that on there just for now. I'm gonna end up ordering some parts for this motor. It runs really well. It actually starts right up. But what I want to do now is change the oil in this gearbox. So it takes an SAE 30. We have tons of that lying around, so I'm kind of curious what comes out of here. There we go. So I can't imagine this thing got serviced too regularly. It's not too bad, honestly. A little bit of some nasty looking stuff in there, but overall not too bad. So I assume with this thing there are, you can't see it now, but on this right side there's what looks to be a fill height. That's how high you're going to want to fill it. They have that on both sides, so probably end up popping both of those once this drains out, as I drain a bunch of that on the floor because the pan moved. Let's let this drain out, get some new fluids in here. So I might have lied about that oil being so clean. It's not looking great, not looking terrible. It's not like black or anything, but it almost looks like there might have been some gear oil in there. You can see there is definitely dirt in it. But that's all filled up with new 30 weight oil. Basically, I just let it run out of both sides. We have this little transmission here with a gear reduction. I don't see how you drain that. There's no drain plug on it. There's the oil level and the oil fill, but no oil drain. And I also don't know what goes in there. So I think what I'm gonna do here is drain the motor. We'll take it outside, run it for a minute, let that oil get hot. Probably gonna end up using the 30 weight in there too, and probably this as well if I can figure out how to drain it. If not, we'll have to suck out of the fill port there. So all right, so half throttle or so, choke, off switch on in the on position. No way. And this is cold. This is a cold motor. That's amazing. They bump it up a little bit. That's amazing. This thing runs great. So we're gonna let that warm up. Transmission does work. That's good. But we'll let this thing warm up and we'll get that engine oil changed. So we've had a minute to let the motor warm up here. It's nice and warm. I've jacked up the rear of the machine just because when it's sitting normally, the oil drain here is kind of sticking up in the air. So there is no like nut or anything on this. It's just a cap. So we'll get that unscrewed. I clean the pan. I want to see kind of what comes out of here. Oh, that is dirty. That is black. Happy to get that out of here. So we will let that drain. We're gonna give it the same old Walmart heavy duty diesel oil SAE 30. These old motors, they don't mind really anything. So let's let that drain, and then we'll contemplate this little power transmission deal, power reduction, see if I can get that sucked out too. So we have new transmission or forward reverser gearbox oil. I still can't figure out how to drain this guy, so I topped him off. Once it started overflowing, you could see the oil that was in there. It was kind of grody, so we'll get that changed at some future point. We have new engine oil, so that's looking much better. So let's see how this thing starts next day, and then we'll have to get this thing cleaned up because it's a little grody. Alright, so like I said, it is cold. Let's give it a little off idle, choke, and see how she starts. Can you believe that? And you believe that second pull? I have no idea how long this thing has been sitting for, but that's amazing. Guys, I'm honestly so impressed with how well this thing runs. I think the next step is going to be to get this thing pressure washed and cleaned up, and then we'll see where we go from there. So after doing a little more research on this machine, I realized we have some plugs here on both the front and rear drums, and you can actually fill these things with water or any liquid of your choice to vary the weight of this thing anywhere from, I believe the kind of dry weight of the machine is 500 pounds all the way up to 1,100 pounds. So I'm kind of curious what would happen if we went ahead and filled these things up, how this thing would handle it, considering that's a lot of extra weight for this little 3 horsepower motor to be moving around. But as far as, you know, rolling the ground, is that going to be a big improvement? So let's fill it up. Alright, so hopefully you can hear me. You can hear going uphill. The little 3 horsepower really has to work for it. I had to adjust the carburetor just a hair richer. It would basically lean out going up the hill and stall. But, oh, there we go, just pulling hard. It leaves a really nice finish. I mean, it's just a static roller. Oh boy, I can't complain for free. Let's turn it around. You really gotta, it's a full workout on the whole body. Oh, there's a big rock. come through here just a few minutes ago with the skid steer and the Harley rake just to rough some of this up. Not only because I needed to grade some stuff out, but I wanted to see how this thing would do. Now this hill right here is pretty steep and it's very wet. So I did have some trouble climbing up this. Oh yeah. Going down is not a problem. Oh yeah. Oh hey there. I didn't see you. So as you can see, this thing is clean. We got it pressure washed, we got it serviced, we got all the guards back on, and we even got it in operation. I think we are mostly done on this machine, at least for this video. I want to hear down in the comments what you think about this thing. Do you want to see it repainted? Do you want to see it restored? Now I'm not going to do a full restoration by any means, but enough to get this thing in fully functional order where we can take it to a job and not worry about it having issues. We got all the ballast in both drums. This thing does a pretty good job packing in the dirt or the gravel. The only thing left is replacing this air filter. I'll probably do a gasket kit on that carburetor and the gas tank since it does leak a little bit. Aside from that, everything is fully operational. I'm very happy with the overall progress on this machine. During my washing, I did find on these little tension wheels here for the chain, there is a grease zerk on each of those that was covered up by years and years of gunk and grime. So this thing is fully greased in every possible location and everything works. So let me know down in the comments what you think about this thing. If you know about kind of what year it is. Like I said, I think I misspoke earlier, but it is an AR1, serial number 4635. Very cool little machine. Couldn't be happier with picking this out of a barn for free, so awesome. Thank you guys for watching. As usual, I got tons of other videos. We have a second channel called NK Garage if you're into tools, so check that out. If otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the day.